You can hit the drag or marquee around onto the top of object to select anything that includes the marquee box. If your object gets selected and you want to deselect, you can use the Ctrl click to deselect the object also. For transforming the objects into the Maya application, we have three options: move, rotate, and scale. So now let's go over how we can transform the shape and the position of our object. Depending on which tool are selected, the manipulator will change its appearance. That the manipulator indicates the pivot point from which the object will be moved, rotate, or the scale. You can hit the W button for move. To get access the move, drag on to the arrow from the X, Y, and the Z axis to move along that axis. You can click the center of the manipulator to move along with all axes at once. For rotation, you can use the hotkey called E. You can use the drag on the ring X, Y, Z axis, again enable here with the selected object, and you can use the yellow ring to rotate into the screen space around the current view also. When you are hitting on the R shortcut from the keyboard, now its scale option are enabled. So again you can drag on the cube to select across the axis or the center yellow cube to scale uniformly across all. To move or scale along with two axes at once, hold the Ctrl and drag onto the axis you don't want to adjust or movable across the area you are. If you want to rotate object around, then you can hit onto the move tool so you can get notice that pivot of the object into the world space and rotating the object into the object space. Now world space means the transformation based onto the global scene axis which do not change. But when we talk about the object based transformation or object space, the transformation based on local object axis which do change every time. Here you can see the channel box. Channel box display transformation and allow us to input the specific value of transformation. For example, if we have to move your object, you can simply put the value into the position, rotation, or scaling, translate X, Y, Z axis or rotate X, Y, Z axis by putting the value into the channel box. Sometimes we want to reset all the settings into the channel box to 0 without changing our object position, rotation, and scale. So do the same. What you can do, go to the modify and hit the twist transformation to reset all the value, and here you can see into the channel box. Now your object may be moved into some new space, but after hitting the twist transformation, the entire value would be 0, 0, 0 axis. So now it's a local coordinate system or it's a base coordinate system of that particular object. Now if you have to modify any object into the component level, we have some options. There are two basic modes for which you can manipulate your geometry: object mode and the component mode. Object mode is for object-wide transformation of one or more objects, while component mode help you to component transformation of which part of an object there would be moved. For example, when you work into the component mode, you can work with the vertices, faces, edges, UV, vertex face, and so on. So in component mode, you can work with the polygon or knobs or subdivision surface. You can hit the right click on the polygon model to switch your object between selecting the vertex, the faces, the edges, the UVs, the vertex face, the multi, or switch back to the object mode. All of the selections and the transformation options of object mode can be aligned individual vertices, faces, or edge into the component mode to reshape your objects. Under the Move tool setting, scroll down and turn down. You have an option called the Soft Selection Mode. So Soft Selection Mode allows you to have a smooth fallout from your selection. This can be very useful for reshaping your object with smooth and curved surface. The yellow indicates full selections, black indicates weak selection. Adjust the fallout mode, radius and curve to change how the soft selection tool would will react. Using the attribute editor. The attribute editors allow us to see the different bits of information about the whatever we have selected to across the attribute editor. You can hit the Ctrl A or Command A for Macintosh PC to get enable the attribute editor button in top of the status line. With an object selected, the attribute editor will display a lots of information. For example, transform nodes, shape nodes, creation nodes, material nodes, and all. Transformation node will help you to get info about its position, rotation, scale into the 3D space. You can get switched to the shape node. It gives you the info about that, what it looks like, also available into the channel box under inputs. If you delete the history from the delete history option, this input node will disappear and you will no longer able to see this one option into the attribute editor. Material node. Material node help you to get detail about the material which you have applied onto the object. You can get the change about the material parameter or the shader parameter with the help of material node. The attribute editor's node change based on what object is selected. Within the attribute editor, go to the list at the top menu and disable auto load selected attribute to retain the attribute onto the given object regardless of a new selection. The copy tab buttons within the attribute editor allow us to work onto the attribute of two different objects at the same time. Grouping and the parenting. For access the grouping and parenting, go to the window outliner to view the list of everything into our sheet, including objects, cameras, lights, and etc. You can click onto the sum of items to rename them also from here outliner. If you click onto the same plus symbol to next of an object, you can see the shade node associated with that object also. There are two basic ways to connect multiple objects together into grouping and parenting. First, you can use the P button, or you can go to the edit option and parent. Parent two objects together by selecting the child and then the parent, and you can hit the P for get parenting. So when a child moves, rotation and scale along with also move with the parent object. However, you can use the still move of the child object independently of its parent. Middle mouse button and drag an object into the outliner to get under the another object to make it child of the second object also. So simply you can select the any object from outliner, and with the help of middle mouse button you can drag the object into the another object to get parenting. You can use the shift key to unparent the object also, or from the menu you can use the edit and the unparent. Group give you a really very good facility to collect all the objects into the single collections of the object. For creating group, you can use the edit and the group option. To create a group containing multiple objects, you can rename the group to organize your object scene also. With up arrow, the selected group containing the currently selected object. So when you hit the parent object and hit the up arrow, the entire group would be automatically selected. So hope now you have a basic idea about the Maya graphical user interface into the practical view, and now you can easily work into the polygon modeling in upcoming sessions.